Agricultural exceptionalism. America is known as the breadbasket of the world. Its farms feed millions. But there's something most people don't see. Behind the fields and factories lies a powerful legal shield. Something called agricultural exceptionalism. This means large farms and food corporations are often treated differently under the law. They're exempt from rules that other industries must follow, especially when it comes to pollution, labor protection, and food safety. Originally, these policies were created to protect small family farms. But today, it's the giant agricultural businesses that benefit the most. And who bears the cost? Everyday people. Our health, our environment, our food. Chemical farming and GMOs. Let's take a closer look at chemical farming. Across thousands of acres, industrial farms use powerful fertilizers and pesticides. These chemicals help grow crops faster and bigger. But what happens next? They seep into the ground, the water, and the air. These are the same places where our communities live and breathe. That's why in farming areas, we see rising cases of asthma, heart disease, and even Alzheimer's. And it's not just about chemicals. Heavy farm machinery breaks the soil down. It crushes the life beneath our feet. Soil, once rich and alive, becomes hard and dry, unable to support long-term crops. Even worse, many farmers no longer grow diverse food. GMO seeds have taken over, and most US farmland is now used to grow one thing: corn. Why? Because the government gives money, subsidies, and insurance to support it. This kind of one-crop system is called monoculture, and while it looks efficient, it weakens ecosystems and makes farming more fragile in the long run. CAFOs and natural grazing. Now let's talk about animals. You might imagine cows grazing in wide-open fields, chickens pecking freely in the yard. But that's not the reality for most farm animals today. In CAFOs, or concentrated animal feeding operations, animals are packed tightly in cages or pens. They can't move. They don't see sunlight. They live in their own waste. To prevent disease in these cramped conditions, they're pumped full of antibiotics. And those antibiotics make their way into our food and bodies. CAFOs pollute the air, the soil, and nearby water sources. But there's another way: natural grazing. On regenerative farms, animals roam freely. Their waste nourishes the land, not pollutes it. They're healthier, and so are we.
Hi, today we are interviewing an food entrepreneur who is dealing with organic food products instead of fillers and artificial additives. Hi, Hina. Nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you also.
Yeah, thanks for joining my interview today.
Thank you.
And can you let us know what are your thoughts on ultra-processed foods?
Ultra-processed foods are products that are made with refined ingredients, artificial additives, and preservatives. They are mostly found in colorful packages, and they are available everywhere. Many times, instant noodles, packaged food that has frozen food, and sugary cereals are part of that.
I agree with you.
Thank
So, in your kitchen, what are the practices you are doing to get rid of these ultra-processed foods or over-processed foods?
What we use is we use natural preservative ingredients like lemon, salts, and different spices. That helps us keep our food also full of nutrients and help keep the shelf life longer for just a few more days.
Yeah, that's important too.
That is very important. You're right.
Yeah.
Fillers and additives are not the ones that keep us healthy. Nutrients in the real ingredients and the food is what keeps us healthy.
Exactly.
Right.
Yeah.
And when we have a lot of sugars, artificially processed food, that hinders with our health. It creates many health problems, including diabetes, digestive issues, mental health problems like anxiety also are connected with how our gut health
I
is.
agree with you.
Yes.
Yeah. So, what are the precautions or suggestions you would give to our?
To be able to try and cook as much as you can with real ingredients yourself. Because sometimes time is not in your side. At those times also you can do at least different changes, like instead of reaching for sugary drinks, reach for water. Instead of reaching for packaged snacks, reach for some fruit in order to be able to satisfy. Those little changes also help us stay healthy.
true.
and help it easier for us to carry on with more energy, sleep better, and carry on with our day-to-day life in a good manner. And you're welcome.
Thanks for sharing your thoughts.
You're very welcome.
Ultra-processed food, the story doesn't end when the crops are picked or the meat is packed. It continues in factories where food is heavily processed. To extend shelf life, companies add artificial preservatives, sugars, and salts. They use colorings, emulsifiers, and other chemicals most of us can't even pronounce. Some processing is okay. It helps store food, feed large populations, and reduce waste. But the question is, how much is too much? Today, ultra-processed foods fill our supermarkets. Instant noodles, frozen meals, sugary drinks. They're cheap, they're fast, but they come with a cost. Diabetes, obesity, high blood pressure, and heart disease. If natural preservatives like lemon, salt, vinegar, and spices exist, why aren't we using more of them? Why are we choosing long shelf life over long human life? An interview with an organic food expert. Labor exploitation. Let's not forget the people behind the food. The hands that pick our fruits, pack our meats, and harvest our crops. Many of these workers are undocumented immigrants. They work under extreme heat, bending for hours, exposed to chemicals. They're underpaid and often live in overcrowded, unsafe housing. And because they don't have legal protection, they're afraid to speak out. They don't complain, they can't. They might lose their jobs, or worse, be deported. But I believe this, no matter where someone comes from, if they work hard, they deserve dignity. They deserve fair pay. They deserve a voice. Right to farm laws. Many states have what are called right to farm laws. At first, these laws were meant to help farmers who were getting complaints from new neighbors. They were designed to protect traditional ways of life. But today, those laws are being used by large factory farms to avoid responsibility. When a huge CAFO moves in and starts polluting the air, families nearby get sick. Their homes are covered in dust and odor. But if they try to take legal action, the law protects the farm, not the family. This is another side of agricultural exceptionalism, when corporations are protected, but people are left behind. FSMA and the limits of reform, the Food Safety Modernization Act, or FSMA, was passed to stop contamination before it starts. It focuses on hygiene, inspections, and tracking food across the supply chain. According to experts like Udin and Bari, FSMA helps make organic and imported foods safer. That's a good step, but one law can't fix everything. It doesn't deal with chemical pollution, it doesn't protect laborers, it doesn't challenge the core of agricultural exceptionalism. To truly change the system, we need to look deeper and act bolder. Hope and call to action there is another path. Across the country, small, sustainable farms are showing us how things can be done differently. On these farms, animals live freely, workers are paid fairly, food is grown with care, and communities come together to support each other. This is the future we can choose, a food system that heals, not harms, a system that values people, animals, and the earth. Because food should give life, not take it away. It should be grown with love, not cruelty. Let's build something better. Because food is not just about what's on the plate, it's about who we are and how we live.